What is good, people? Good to have y'all here. Welcome back to another live beat reviews. I'm your host, X.E.L. And tonight we're just gonna be doing a live beat review. If you're not familiar with the live beat reviews, we do these on Thursday nights. Allow you guys to actually put in either MP3 wave or like SoundCloud or YouTube to kind of actually play your stuff inside of the Discord. If you want to be a part of this, the link is below in the description of the video. So basically below this should give you an option to get into the Discord. And once you're in the Discord, there's an area that says live beat reviews. Just drop your song or beat in there and we'll go over it and play it. Usually I'll play up to 2 minutes of the track. If you do want to get played more than that, that will require a super chat. If you want more than one song played, that also will require a super chat. So other than that, that's pretty much what we do. I think it's kind of interesting, or funny, I should say. I think there was like 2 people who put beats inside of the flip submission area for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why they put it there. If you're not aware, we do a sample flip on this channel once a month as well. And that April sample flip is over with. That was last week's live. So if you put stuff in there, you missed it. Sorry. But yeah, a lot of interesting things going on in the world. And, you know, we're all still kind of just going along for the voyage or the ride. All right. Let me see who's actually in the chat. Where's my mouse? Okay. Nathan's in the building. What's good, Nathan? Charismatic's in the building. What's good, Charismatic? All right. I guess without further ado, we'll just kind of get into the live beat reviews and see what's going on. All right. So first up, we have Mr. Robinson, the producer. Let's go.
Got my name in their mouth cause it's square. I can feel it, I can smell it in the air. One thing about life, it ain't fair. You gotta live it like you know you a player. I'm out for currency, ain't worried about what's her name. I'm trying to see hella blues, boomerang. It ain't nothing that I do ever gaslit. They didn't believe, but it's cool, just remember me. I got a sentence being real, make me ill as hell. But the ill for illustration ain't that something to tell. They wish I failed, so I push them down, no wishing will. Never trusted them, now I gotta play them how I go. I'm in traffic solo, roof missing, oh no. Drop my own promo, I ain't going no more. Read about it, shorty, yeah, everything extra. Only thing I know is just to keep applying pressure. Got my name in their mouth cause it's square. I can feel it, I can smell it in the air. One thing about life, it ain't fair. You gotta live it like you know you a player. All I know is this PvP and everybody gon' lose to me. Watch out, too smooth, cap game crazy, what you waiting on? Quit playing, I done found the avenue revenue. Get your hustle up, hey, that's what you better do. Go get it, MFN shorty, I'm a gold reeler. Money magnet in, I'm out here dodging all the gold diggers. I am not the one, I'ma get it done. Feel it in my soul, I had to say that. This the real me, they can't portray that. I ain't your homie, I ain't no athlete, I don't play that. Catch up with your crowd, shorty, fall back. Got my name in their mouth, cause it's square. I can feel it, I can smell it in the air. One thing about life, it ain't fair. You gotta live it like you know you a player.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right, let's give it up for Mr. Robinson, the producer, yo. I'm feeling that one. Very, very nice. I actually like the bounce in the track itself. I like the way he was actually flowing over the track. I do think that some of the mixing for the vocals could be a little bit more crisp. There's a couple of techniques you can kind of use to make it a little bit more thicker or bigger. I'm not sure if you're the one actually mixing the vocals or not, but you can actually do like a New York sidechain is kind of what they call it. And well, basically what that does is it allows you to actually add noise to the vocals, and basically that'll give it a bigger sound. It's kind of hard to really explain over and not actually showing you kind of what it is. But if you ever look up New York compression, it kind of just basically, you'll have like one vocal that's like super compressed and super kind of like, I guess you can kind of say a little bit distorted in a way. And basically you would have that underneath the main vocal that you want to have. So what that does is it actually expands the vocals and makes it a lot bigger than it actually is. I feel that his voice is dope, but I think that underneath it will make it just stand out a little bit more. Definitely try to look it up if you can. Like I said, New York compression for vocals, and you basically, like I said, you just kind of compress. You basically can duplicate the track and kind of feed them into each other. That way it'll make it a little bit bigger. But other than that, everything else sounded really dope. I definitely like the sound selection on there. So yeah, let's give it one more time for Mr. Robinson, the producer. Yeah, bounce was definitely dope on there. All right, Nathan says fire. Yeah, that's that tubular bell. If you are looking for a tubular bell, I know that BBC orchestra, they actually have a really good one in there, and you can just kind of add like a little more effects to give it more bigger sound. But yeah, BBC orchestra, that's the one that's free from Spitfire. Yeah, that one actually has a really nice tubular bell inside there. Or you can always look for like one shots of tubular bells. That would be another option. All right, next up, we got Hen. Let's see what they did. All right, I hear you, Hen. I think I think you have some really interesting sounds in there. I will definitely want to hear them a lot more in the forefront. I think the 808 is taking up a little bit too much of the frequencies. And I'm not 100% sure if that's the way you want it to go with the track or not, but it feels like that 808 is completely taking up all the frequencies. And I think you have some really cool sounds kind of hidden behind it because that 808 is just so overpowering. So usually, I mean, if I know like the 808 is kind of doing that, I'll usually just kind of cut off all of like the high end of it and just keep the bass as, you know, the bass. But I'm not sure if that was the route you wanted to go with it, but I just feel like it could be a lot harder. Even like the drums are kind of drowned behind the 808, and you want to make sure that everything is actually heard, unless that's not what you want to do. This kind of matters if you're going for that like artist approach, or you're looking for just like you're doing this for like a mixtape or something. Then, you know, those are different things. You know, you can do kind of whatever you want to for your own mixtape. But I would definitely say if it's for like an artist, you want to kind of bring out all those elements so that they can hear everything that you're presenting on there. But yeah, keep working. Let's give it up one more time for Hen. No problem, Nathan. Alan T's in the building. What's good, Alan? A&R's in the building. All right. Nathan says fire. Rage vibe. Oh, they love the heavy distorted. Okay. Like I said, I mean, I just if it's on purpose, cool. Sometimes I just, you know, I'm thinking about it as in a whole aspect, and hearing people on a track like that, I think it has a lot of potential because there's some really dope sounds underneath that are kind of being hidden by that by the bass. Old Restless, what's good, man? Thank you for joining us. All right, we got MIG. Made in Grenoble. I ain't seen MIG in a minute. I think this is the first time this year, huh? MIG. That's what's up. So we're gonna just kind of keep this moving right along. Stephen Parker's in the building. What's good, Stephen Parker? All right, so let's see what MIG did on this one. Strings fire. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Griselda. Oh man, very boom bapish. Love it. Them strings is so fire, yo. I thought you would use the strings a little bit different inside the track itself, but I wasn't expecting when the change came, when the drum roll comes in, then you drop. Yeah, fire. All right, Nathan says fire. Yeah, definitely it's been a while since MIG was on here. All right, A&R likes it. All right, Nathan says fire. Oh, Restless says nice. Yeah, Steven Parker says nice. Some fire emojis. All right, let's give it up one more time for MIG. All right, looks like next up we have Willie G. I hope that's how you say it. Sorry for butchering it if it's not. So let's play this first one. Videos unavailable. Alrighty. Brace yourself, fool. Brace yourself, fool. So you said this is indo. Smell more like outdoor. All right, let's give it up one more time for Willie G. I like it. I think it does give that definite G-Funk, old school, West Coast kind of sound. But you gotta have that East Coast, that West Coast G-Funk mix. Like you gotta have that snare snapping, that kick popping, that it's gotta be live, yo. I think you have like all the elements in place. It just needs a better mix on there to make it stand out and be where it's supposed to be. But everything else, I like it. Elements, the format, all that good stuff. But yeah, so let's give it up one more time for Willie G. All right, Nathan says fire. Steven Parker says, let's head for the West Coast vibes. Yes, sir. G-Funk. Smoking that Indo. Yeah. If only there's a West Coast emoji. They might need to make one with like this, the same like car leaning like that. Yep. Yeah, really dope stuff, man. Let's give it up one more time. All right, next up, we have Saya. What are you doing? So he's working on some new tricks. All right.
Saya, what are you doing?
All right, let's get off of Saya. What are you doing? Of course, the drums is knocking super hard. I think the timing is off on something. Like I think the beat is like at a different pace than how the guitars are actually going. I think the guitar loop is dope, and I think the drums are dope. I just think they're a little off somewhere, but just opinion. All right, Nathan says it's fire. Vice Envy in the building. That was good, Vice. All right, Charismatic said you can hear Aaliyah on this. All right, Rico in the building. What's good, y'all? All right, Vice says fire. Old Restless says fire. All right, let's keep it moving for the night. Next up, ORC Productions. Let's go. Let's give it up for ORC Productions. All right. It gives me a very cool, like, holiday vibe. I don't know if it's because of the bells or the shakers, but it gives me that vibe. And right now, I know there are a couple of libraries actually looking for some Christmas music now. They're kind of trying to get those Christmas albums together to start pitching. Yes, already is time for Christmas albums. So yeah, that is kind of where the place is actually heading right now. I do think the mix on here could be a little bit better. Kind of bring out a couple more elements in there. I do like the bass, and the two different basses that you use in there is pretty cool as well. But yeah, if you're gonna keep on that vibe of like that Christmassy or seasonal kind of feel, if you are in that market for TV and film, that's probably where I would go with this one. But let's give it one more time for ORC Productions. All right, Nathan says fire. Rico says fire. Charismatic is fire. He loved the bass on. Yeah, the bass was dope. Nice ORC. Different height. See, but if it matters kind of where you're going with it. If it's like I was saying, for like a holiday kind of, which it does still have a holiday sound to it. That's the route I'd have probably stuck with those same shakers or hi-hats. No problem, man. Yeah, bass was fire. All right, let's keep this party moving right along. Next up, we have Charismatic. Let's go.
Pretty good.
Charismatic. Oh man. Yes. I don't know if you guys are in the Christmas spirit, but it seems like it's the direction y'all want to go. So yeah, but I definitely see this in different aspects, but it does have a Christmas feel or seasonal feel to it. I could see this in a car commercial around that seasonal time when they're really promoting vehicles and things like that. So I could see it in advertising as well. I could see it for, you know, when they're getting close to, like I said, the holiday time, football games and stuff like that. So, yeah, really, really dope stuff, Charismatic. All right, Nathan says fire. Damn, dude, this is sick. Yeah, very nice, yo. All right, Vice says fire. For sync, I would definitely think it would be for sync. I could see it in a lot of different places as well. How bright the horns are. I mean, I can hear an artist on there, but it will probably have to tame down the horn some if an artist was to get on there. But yeah. Yes, I agree, Stephen Parker. Yes, holiday feel, man. You guys got the holiday feel already. That's what's up. Yeah. Yes, Christmas is coming early this year. Oh man. Yeah, it's definitely a dope track. Yes. The little lead at the end there. Yeah. I really envy your break points because I still haven't gotten to that point to where I feel comfortable doing them in my tracks to where I'll just kind of just do the that yeah, like you put in there. Like I still haven't gotten comfortable doing that yet, and I've been doing it for a minute now. So I'm not sure if you get. I guess you learned that from Kevin. Those guys how to kind of structure that way. I think that's really dope, and your sting endings are really really nice as well. It gives the editor a lot of points they can kind of use. They could just use that sting at the end for whatever, you know. Like that's what makes it really good. Yeah, Switch It was dope. No problem, yo. You don't have to go next, but you know, it's all right, Nathan. Yeah, very nice track. You don't have to go that far. Like. Yeah, I can still see it for sports though, for sure. Holiday sports. Yep. The Christmas games. Yep. I was thinking the same exact thing. All right, next up we have Nathan. I know you don't want to go next, Nathan, but it's okay. there, Nathan. I see you, man. It was taking me for the video game in the beginning, and it kind of changed around a little bit. I kind of didn't know where it was going, then it kind of filled in a little bit more. I actually like this one, man. The arrangement is actually pretty cool. I'm not a fan of the distortion or like the little I don't know if it's like a synth sound of some sort, but it's like a distortion that comes in, or like a, what is it called? Some fuzz that comes in throughout the track. You can probably just take that out. I wouldn't have it in there just because it just distracts from everything else. I definitely like this beginning. This is all video game right here. All video game. Like when you're going to fight a boss or something. I hear that all day right there. So yeah, definitely keep up the good work, Nathan. Yeah, you got this. Appreciate that, Mr. Robertson. Glad to have you here. Stephen Parker said, let's go. All Restless says fire. Yeah, arrangement is cool. Outside of it, tension, investigative feel. See, I've never really thought about that. That is actually kind of true. But tension tracks. No problem, man. It was a good track, yo. Really, really dope track. Like I was saying, if you know how to do, I'm not sure if you're the one mixing it or not, but you can put like a New York compression on there, and basically it'll make his voice a little bit more thicker and stand out a little bit more. And yeah, y'all got yourselves a nice track there, for sure. I need them placements. Yeah, the piano is really dope on there. Agreed. All right, Vice says fire. Okay. Is that the name of the plugin? Runa? I guess that's how you pronounce it. All right, that's what's up. All right, next up we have Alan T. AC was trying to help you out with the side chaining on the kicks. All right, let's see what that sounds like.
pretty good.
All right, Alan. I see you, man. I see you. Very nice. I don't know how much the side chaining actually helped. I personally myself, I am not a side chainer. I know how to do it. There are times where I probably should do it, I guess. But I mean, I really haven't had a reason to side chain because I always want my kicks to punch through the track. So I will lower everything else inside of my track to let my kick shine through. So that's just the way I kind of handle all that. But I know there are times where, you know, you want to, there's like reduce some of the muddiness, especially if you have like a whole bunch of really big sounds. But to me, still, that's where like EQ comes in for me. Because if I'm gonna have a bass line and like an 808, I mean, I'm kind of gonna like kind of have them in their own little area still. Where all those other sounds, I'm gonna take all that low out of there, so it's not anything colliding with it. But still, my kick is gonna punch through just because I'm just that, you know, hip hop urban kind of guy, and I'm gonna make sure the kick comes through. But yeah, side chaining is really cool. I know a lot of people that use it for different things. Some use it for like even like automation of different sounds and things that they want to use. But I'm just not I've never been a big fan of side chaining, but it does work in some occasions, at least for me. But yeah, let's give it one more time for Alan T. Yeah, once you get the structure down like that, I'm still not even at that charismatic level when it comes to like those little. He has like these little pockets, these like drop points or intros, whatever you want to call them, where it's like maybe sometimes it's 2 bars or 4 bars, and he just kind of has like a different element in there, and then it will come back into his track. So I always thought those were really dope. I just usually don't have the patience to kind of make that other element inside of it. I'd chalk it up to laziness personally, but yeah. All right. Nathan says fire. Old Wrestler says nice. Stephen Parker says, I hear you, Alan T. Yeah. Yeah. I could hear that. Yeah, definitely a dope piano beat. Piano on there was fire, y'all. Nice. Yeah, Alan be having them nice drum loops from somewhere. I don't know if he adds anything else on side of it. I've been trying to get back into it. I just haven't been in the lab like I want to. Pretty sure that A&R likes that one as well. I mean, I just don't feel like it's necessary a lot of times. I know a lot of people, you know, they live and die by it, but I mean, I just the normal listener won't know that you've sidechained something unless you kind of have it tucked behind something and it's really like evident that you're sidechaining by, you know, taking out all those frequencies whenever your kick or clap or whatever you have sidechain happens. Oh yeah. Agreed. All right. Next up, we have Stephen Parker. Let's go.
pretty good.
All right, I see you, Stephen Parker. He's showing out, man. I like it. But you know me, I like my I like the drums to slap a little bit harder on there. But yeah, really dope track, man. Sound selection is dope. I like the change ups you have in there. Really, really cool stuff, man. And it's not like, the typical kind of beat. I like it, man. Keep working, Steven. I see you, man. But you know me. I had the drums gotta be slapping a little bit harder than that. A little bit harder, Steven. But that's what's up. All right. Nathan says fire. Yeah. You sidechain your kick in your 808. You don't know how to get that sound without it. What sound are you trying to get? He says your 808s are always too, so turn them down. Like I said, usually when I'm doing it, I'm gonna have my kick as the highest thing, period, inside of my track. Like if my kick is not the loudest thing in my track, then I usually don't. Because it always depends on the genre that you're actually doing it in. And I do a lot of urban music, so almost every urban music that you will ever hear will have that kick, should be the most dominant part of the track. So even the 808 comes second to the kick, at least to me. That's just me. But if the 808 you feel is too loud, then turn it down, man. It's okay to turn it down. As long well, I've been taught this a long time ago. 808 is not necessarily supposed to be heard, it's supposed to be felt. And I learned this from a guy who's done a lot of mixing. His name is Mousequake. I don't know if anybody in here has ever heard of Mousequake, but yeah, he told me that a long time ago. He was like, 808 should be felt, not necessarily heard. So that's one of those things where you may want to look at that and see where you want it to actually sit inside the track. And of course, when you're comparing it with other beats out there, a lot of the tracks out there now, they're definitely 808 heavy, but they've been mixed down to a point to where it just has that really big feel to it. You said the switch. Yes. Yeah, man. All right. Got some hearts. Very cool. Dubstep type. I can hear that. All right. A&R likes that one. That's what's up. Travis Scott. Interesting. I don't want to thought of Travis Scott. All right. Nathan says he loves this. Motion picture. Yeah. Charismatic said this goes hard. Love the versatility. Agreed. Cruising on a motorcycle. Yeah, Steven with the fire, man. All right, I see the dynamite. Still going crazy in the middle of the room listening. I could see that. Just getting it out of nowhere, yo. Yeah. Bloodline, what's good? Thank you for joining, man. No problem, yo. All right, side question for the chat. What do you guys listen to while mixing? Speakers or headphones or both? I would say both. Usually I kind of have my headphones as like my flattener in a way, and I listen through my monitors for more of a final kind of feel and sound. I also listen through like the little iPhone little air AirPod kind of things, but not the actual AirPods, but like the wired iPhone headphones, like, well, basically the ones that go in your ear, because that's what a lot of people listen to your music on, regardless of, you know, where you're making your music or what you're making your music on. The majority of the world listens to these little speakers on these little headphones. So I usually kind of do both. That's just, you know, how I go about it. Yep. All right. Steven says he uses both. Yeah. Okay. I got you. So that's what the side chaining is working for you. I mean, if it's working for you, then I say go all out with it. But I just never really side chained. All right. Starts with mixing headphones. Yeah. The monitors help for the overall feel, like, you know, you get to hear it out loud, and sometimes you could pick up on little things inside there when you're listening to the monitors. If you have some really good headphones, like a really flat set of headphones, which is almost impossible nowadays, but there are a lot of those that are really good. Like these are open backs, so they don't capture all the bass inside there, so it gives me a more realistic kind of sound from when, you know, when you hear it in like like the clubs and all that other stuff. If you are just talking about mixing, I'd probably say get some open back earphones. It just makes it sound a little bit better than when you have the closed back. The closed backs actually capture all the bass, so you're not really getting a good estimate of what the bass actually is, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. You need to listen through speakers more. Yeah. All right. References and subs. Headphones. And then feel from, yep. I agree, Bloodline. I mean, you know, but everybody has their own way of kind of doing things. I know people who just only do monitors, period. That's all they do. Then I know some people that just do headphones, and, you know, they pay like, you know, $400 or $500 for some headphones. And some people have paid like $800 for headphones. I do want to get those, the headphones where you can actually change the like the studio to the car I want to actually get a pair of those. I just haven't had funds to get that 400. It hurts. I don't think that's gonna happen. I might have to have you guys sponsor me or something. I don't know. We'll see. Low Cuts in the building. What's good, Low Cuts? Throw your speakers away. It could be. It just matters. Like I said, I would say if you're gonna be mixing on headphones, I would say get some open backs, just because, like I said, you'll get the more, it won't like completely like be cupped in. You'll get to hear more of the track, more of the highs and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah. All right. Next up we have Rico. Let's go. Let's give it up for Rico, man. Very interesting track you have there. I like the riffs. I mean, the riffs sound like something I've heard before, though. I don't know why. Sounds like a riff I've heard. And I feel like it's a little muddy because like I can't really hear your kick. Like I can hear a little bit of the snare, but it sounds like a lot of things are kind of being completely drowned out by the guitars. I don't know if that was the plan or not. I know you said that you wanted to kind of go over these on top of them with vocals and stuff like that. I would love to hear what you do with this one. I think it has a lot of potential, yo. But yeah, let's give it up one more time for Rico. Yeah. I kind of agree. And then it's like, it's one of those things where, if you know how your monitors actually sound, it helps out a lot. That's why, you know, usually when you get monitors, when you like first buy monitors, I don't know if you guys are ever going to buy any or not, but if you first buy monitors, they'll have this, a burning period, I guess that's what they call it. So you kind of burn your sound into the monitors so you kind of can feel and know how things sound coming out of them. So I would say listen to a lot of reference tracks. Don't necessarily listen to your own stuff. Don't just get monitors and go straight into making beats or whatever. Get to know the sound of the monitors in the room. So basically what that'll do is when you actually start making beats, you'll know how it compares to those other tracks. I mean, always go back to reference tracks because that's what makes everything easier for everybody. It is your own teacher. It'll teach you mixing. It'll teach you arrangement. You know, it'll teach you structure. It'll teach you everything that you need to know about music is in a reference track. So that's why I always keep preaching and going back to it and listening to stuff through your monitors, and it'll adapt to your ears. That's why a lot of people don't go to other studios to mix and master and stuff like that, because they're not used to that environment. So their ears are not tuned to that exact room. I mean, there's a lot of really, really cool studios that I've been to, and they have some amazing sounding speakers, yo. And when I put my stuff in there, they're like, yo, like, where did you mix this? And I'm like, in the crib. They're like, no way. Yeah, way. It happens. So, yeah, I get you though. It is kind of tricky with the monitors, but I would say make sure you're actually listening to a whole lot of music on it. I think they say about 8 hours of music to kind of break in the speakers or monitors, I should say. So if you're not doing that, then you should do that if you do get monitors. If anybody in here ever gets a pair of really good monitors, like some Yamahas or like some Adams, whatever, any kind of monitors, make sure you do break them in. The same thing is kind of with headphones as well. Yeah. He said, my cousin's looking for a track like that one. Yeah, he actually plays some really good stuff, man. All right. All Resta says good stuff. Charismatic says fire. Rolling Stones vibe. I could hear that. Groovy Rico. Uh-huh. And the one man bam. One man band. That's a good question. What DAW do you use? 3 or 4 guitars laid together. Yeah. So when you mix them down, like, cause I can hear it's a little muddy just because there's so much going on in that same exact frequency. So if you can kind of tame those frequencies, it'll actually be a really nice track. Nathan says fire. Ableton. Adobe Audition. What? You're going to use Adobe Audition to record from Ableton. That's a very, very interesting move. Very interesting. I would like to know why you would move to Adobe Audition. All right. Okay. Yeah, you gotta break them out for sure. Yes, it is definitely and mastering it comes with time. Like you gotta, once again, uh, get a reference tracks. Like even when I do like mastering for people, when they actually are request me to kind of master some stuff for them, I'll ask them for a reference. Like, what track do you feel that this track that you gave me is like? Like what do you feel like it should be like? So that way I know kind of the sound they want to go for. That is definitely something that you want to ask if you are going to go down that road of mixing and mastering and engineering and all that stuff. You kind of need to know what your client actually wants and what they actually like. I actually ask for a whole lot of stuff, and it kind of deters people at times, but the end product is always good, so I'll get returns on that. But I ask for a lot. I ask for a reference track. I ask for a mix that they're always listening to. I want a mix that you always listen to, so I know where your mindset is for the track. Because if you listen to something for so long and so many times, it kind of just grows on you and you get attached to it. So my job would be to just enhance as much as I possibly can, but kind of still keep that same feel that they've been listening to all this time. I also require that they have the tracks no more than -8 dB. So it gives me plenty of headroom so I can actually mix their stuff the way it should be mixed. What else do I do? I ask for stems. I usually ask them for no effects on the track as well. Unless it's something that you feel that you need to have on the track itself that makes the track stand out in some way. And usually that's just for vocals. People have like their own auto tune kind of setting that they really like. And I am all for that because I hate doing auto tune for people because it just, from my experience, I always have to keep going back and forth with the person that's requesting the services. And they had it a certain way, they had it a certain feel. And when you actually don't have it that way and you do it your own way, most of the time, that's not what they want. So I always try to encourage them for that part of it, especially if it's like the auto tune part. It just, every time I've done it, like I said, I had to do many revisions because of how they want to hear it is not what I'm actually giving them. So that does happen. Yeah. Yes, you would definitely want to take a break. But I think I believe that's the recommended time is 8 hours. Don't quote me on it, but I believe that's what it is. So they'll tell you to kind of, you don't have to play it all at one time, but you want to make sure that you have something in there. No problem. Recording and playing, very long story. Audition has really good tools for removing noise and hum. Okay, I gotcha. So you're having that the guitar noise and stuff being picked up when you're playing. Okay. I don't know what's in Ableton. I don't think Ableton, I don't know if they have like that noise remove. I know that Reaper has like a package of tools One of them, you can actually eliminate like noises and stuff when you're actually recording. I've never really used Audition like that to know. I know people use it for like, their podcasts and stuff and they remove noise, but I know Reaper has one and it comes in a package. You can actually use it in any DAW that has VSTs. So it's a way to kind of, get rid of noise and hums and all that other stuff in the background. Really easy with that tool. Right now, at the top of my head, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, I know it comes in a Reaper package and it has like the re-EQ. It has that, I think it's like re-IR, re-fire or something like that. I think is what it's called. So that is what actually will help you do it. I think Kenny just put out a video about it as well. But yeah, it's really dope. So you can use that, or if you have like RX, which is like the what are they called? Isotope. The isotope stuff, the RX. It's pretty expensive, but it works really, really good to kind of eliminate all those noises and sounds. But if you're having great results with Audition, I say stick with it. I know there are people who also use what is this stupid thing called? I just had it at the tip of my tongue. It starts with an A and it only does WAV files. I can't remember what it's called right now. But yeah, a lot of people use that to clean up stuff as well. I only have it because I have Adobe app. Okay, that's what's up. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, but it's not the noise gate. I can't remember what it's called though. It's something that kind of eliminates the noise before it even goes into like the track itself. I think it's like RIF or FIR something. I used to use it a lot. I don't remember what it's called right now though. Yeah. If it has that noise removal thing, it's I know Adobe is actually good for that because like I said, I know a lot of podcasters who still they use Audition when they're editing down the videos and they use that to take away the noise and stuff. That's what's up. Audacity, there we go. Audacity. They have some Audacity is actually coming up really big right now, man. They got a lot of nice things they've added in there. If they ever get MIDI in there, it might be a DAW to mess with for sure. That's what's up. I know a lot of people are looking for some samples to kind of get into. There you go. Yes. Yes. The Rhea Fire. This one gives you an option to actually put in the noise inside of, it'll actually capture the noise and remove it. So that's why I was saying, I know that one is really good. I know a lot of podcasters use that as well to kind of get rid of the background noise and stuff on their tracks. But like I said, if you're having great stuff with the Adobe stuff, I'd say stick with it. Yeah, rear gate is cool, but I mean, that's just going to gate the noise out. It's not going to actually like remove that noise. It's just going to be a gate so that when it reaches a certain threshold, it'll kind of, but the Rhea Fire thing actually removes that like whole frequency out of the track. Like you'll capture the sound, and then once you're playing or doing whatever, it should take that sound out of the whole track, no matter what that sound is. Yeah, you can do that. It could be pronounced reefer.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
A see what you're doing here, Charismatic. I see what you're doing. All right. So yeah, so this I guess concludes the night. Do I have a beat to play for you guys? I've been working on some, what is those things called? Goodness gracious. Dramedy stuff, I think. Yeah, I've been working on some dramedy stuff. The question is which one? I will play one of them for you guys and then we can jump off here. But let me know if you guys have questions. You know, while we're kind of here. All right, so let's try this one. So this is more dramedy, I guess. Hopefully this is a good one. There are times I forget exactly what I make and okay. All right. Yes, fun times for sure. Thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate you, Alan. Say what's up to A&R for me. All right. Nathan says fire. Vice says fire. Old wrestlers with dynamite. So showcase, yes, cool. All right. Appreciate it. I have realized doing all this sync stuff, simplicity always wins. I don't know why. But like the simpler and more dramatic it can be, the more and more those are the ones that get picked. I like to give a lot of spacing, and I learned that from Excalibur. Like that, all that spacing and stuff on there, like I could see it visually in my mind, them walking through the house looking for something, and they'll pick this part for, you know, that, and then I'll have a drop there so that the editor has a chance to come in or out during those parts. So yeah. The boom boom needs to come up a little bit more. Oh, the bass? Yeah. It could be a commercial. I could see that too. I sent it off to, hopefully, they are hopefully they pick it up, but we'll see what happens. He says she's snoring. The party's over. Ah. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. It's like when you break it down and you have like those little pieces. Those are the ones they usually pick. Like when I listen to the stuff like I've actually synced, like those will be like those little pieces that they kind of use. It's really weird, yo. But we'll see. Yes, especially when it comes to sync. I've realized a lot less is more. And it's so weird, like the tracks that I know, I feel like, yo, this is really dope. And it's like, those are the ones that just sit there. They'll pick them up. The library will pick them up, but those don't really get the placements. It's just kind of weird, yo. Like there's this track I made like a long time ago, like, and it was like a really dope sports kind of feel and everything. And it just like never got placed. At least not that I know of at this moment. All right, man. All right, Vice. Good night. Peace. All right, ladies and gents, we will jump off of here. So next week, Thursday, we'll be doing this once again. Some live beat reviews. Some really, really good tracks this week. Appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to go into the flip submissions because I think there was like 2 beats. Yeah, so In the Light and Dino. I'm not sure why they put them in here. Sample flip. So they did sample flips, I think. Maybe. Really interesting. So let me see what this is. Yep, they use the samples. Hey. Very interesting. I like it though. Too little, too late. All right, y'all. We're going to jump up off here. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Once again, it's your boy X.E.L.O. Till next time, people. Peace.